Just make a wee bit, man. That's out of the light for you guys. That's a bit better. Just nice and do that. Okay. See, that looks. 2 seconds, guys. Just kind of move a couple of things about. Get this big light over here. So it's in my face and up something behind me. That's better. Oh. Right, guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going for a wee coffee. I know I'm 5 minutes early, so it just gives everybody a chance to catch in. Won't be long. Guys and dolls, how we doing? Who have we got? Who's in with us? Get the microphone in, guys. Is there anybody saying hello yet? Oh yeah, there we go. Hello, John. How you doing? Hi, Freedom Dad and chat. Not only have you froze, you're invisible. How's it going now? Oh yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay, John. You got me. Very good, mate. You coming up to say hello, Tulip? You've been banished from the bedroom, haven't you? So, yes. Hello, Noel. Nice to see you on, guys. Hope you are all good. All good at this end. Come on, baby girl. Tulip, come here. Come on. There we go. Look. See? All good in the hood. All good in the hood. I know it'll be too. So yeah, all good here, guys. No problems. Everything is really, really good. Had a really good day today. I was traveling about the place. Had to go through, see a mate. And then the two of I got dropped off with him, and then he took me through to Glasgow to see somebody else, and they brought me back. It was quite good. a wee delve from the past. So it was, my old life sort of thing. But no, it's good. You know what I mean, guys? It's like, it's good that to be honest with you, to be around old friends who I've always been like, certain guys have been a part of my life, but not like best mates or nothing, like more like business, you know what I mean? And it's nice to be able to, like, I think we're all like older now as well, and it's good to be able to, like, because they know I do this, you know what I mean? They got in contact with me, you know what I mean, after they seen my video, or somebody told them about my video, and they had a wee about the bike, and it's nice to be able to be around guys like that, and they respect you not choosing to go down that road of crime again, you know what I mean, or get involved in that kind of thing, you know what I mean, and all the rest of it. Hi, Vanda Paddington. Give us a quick rundown on your topics tonight, Freedom Dot. My topics tonight, guys, it's just your topics, honestly. The only reason I'm doing the live tonight is because I had Kai on last night and I didn't really get to chat to you. And that's all it is, guys. So I'm here. I'm here for you guys tonight. Anything that you want to talk about, anything you want to ask me, anything that you are concerned about. Precious Quinty DeVere. Tommy's visits are cancelled, Mark. What are the lawyers going to do? His lawyers can't do anything. Precious. That's a really nice name. The lawyers can't do nothing. It's to do with the prison. So the way it works, guys, in prison is that the prison decide. So when I was in prison, I'll need to dig all my paperwork out. So obviously I had loads of problems in prison, constantly battling them. There's things like you can put complaint forms in, right? So I've got all my complaint forms. I promise you I will dig them all out. And you've got different layers. You complain to the wing, right? You're not happy about something. And then they go blah, blah, blah. And then you complain to the senior officer. And then it comes back. This is what you got to do. And then they write a reply. I'll make a conscious effort of digging it out this week for the weekend, the kind of paperwork, and so we give you an idea of how it works. So then that's a senior officer. Then you've got like the principal officer who maybe is in charge of all the wings, and then he writes blah 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 blah. And I don't think the governor gets involved. I think then it goes to in Northern Ireland. It's a Secretary of State, so it'll be the Home Office. So Tommy will then have to write to the Home Office and complain about him not getting his visits. But at the end of the day, it's not. Obviously, the governor is taking lead from obviously the governor's, is there, what I mean, doing what the government wanted to do, or she wouldn't be, or they wouldn't be in that job, whoever the governor is, and it is all to do with the prison, got nothing to do with outside. There's nothing legally they can do about it. The lawyers can help him to a certain degree. But this is more prison stuff than legal stuff outside. It's totally different. So it is. So they can stop. They can stop you from. They can stop people come visit you. They can stop people. They can stop you having people's phone numbers. So if I have a phone list, when I go into prison, I give them a list of numbers. And they put them on, and they have to go through a security check, you know what I mean? And then them numbers, once they go through a security check, I'm then allowed, them numbers then go onto my phone. So when I pick up the jail phone, that number will work. If they don't have that number, I won't be able to. You can't just go onto a jail phone, guys, and just phone any number. You've got to give them the number of people that you want to call. They've got to check that number out because it could be a witness, it could be a victim, so... And then they give you the go ahead, and then you can phone them people. So it works every way like that. It's all at the discretion of the prison guys, Yeah, it's just another way of getting to him. That's all it is, like. But it will all come out at the end of the day. These people will be held accountable. We won't forget the names of these people. We won't forget the names of everybody involved. We won't forget the government that done this to Tommy or what they put him through, you know what I mean? Now, yeah, Paul getting thinking. Human rights as a prisoner. So human rights as a prisoner, Precious, you don't. Human rights as a prisoner, you got to understand that basically you go down to a number of things. You get fed, you got access to clean bedding, you got access to a shower, and you get access to a toilet. You know, everything after that is a privilege. You got to understand that. You don't. It's not like such human rights. You can lose access to your phone. You can lose access to your TV. You can lose access to your visits. Like I was on closed visits. You know, I'll tell you about that. So I was in Shots, and I just got married. I got married in Shots, and so there's a prisoner in Scotland called Samuel Ralston, a very famous prisoner. His nickname's the Bear, and he's a very good friend of mine. And so when my people were coming over from Belfast to go to my wedding with me and Sammy in Shots prison, we organised a visit with Samuel, so one of my cousins could come up and meet Samuel, right? And so I'm already in the digger. Now, I was in the digger. I was on solitary confinement when I got married, believe it or not. You know what I mean? And so because I was in the digger, on the visit, this is no word of lie, this is a great story, by the way. So on the visit, I'm on the visit, right? Me and Sammy just got married, you know what I mean? My cousins and my cousin's partner, I can't remember who else, was on a visit on the next table to Samuel. Now, there's only me and Samuel in the visit room, okay? And next thing I know, Samuel's like, because Samuel's mental, screws are terrified. I promise you guys, I'm not telling you, you know I don't bullshit you, I don't exaggerate. Screws were terrified of Samuel because he was so hard. The Bear, you can imagine, he was an animal, he was a beast. You know, you 10 screws, he would have hurt at least 4 or 5 of them, easy, you know, and they just weren't, they couldn't handle Samuel, he was too strong, you know what I mean? And so big Samuel's on the visit in the next table, and he's like, I've got you something. I'm like, all right, get at the end of the visit. So gets up the end of the visit, right? And he's like, come here. And he shook my hand, put me in close, give me a cuddle, right? So he's giving me a bit of weed, okay? And I've got it in my hand, right? Well, I'm for entertainment and educational purposes only, you know, I could be talking absolute kayaki here. I could be just lying through my teeth, okay? I could just be making a story up to entertain you. So anyway, so I've got it in my hand and I've got it holding it here, okay? So I've sat down in front of Sammy and I've went like that and cuddled her, but rubbed her like that down her sides, right? And then I've went in for a cuddle, put it into my mouth, okay? So visit's over. And I'm going down to the digger, back down to the digger, solitary confinement. Goes in the cell, next thing, boom, door opens, bang, report, you're on charge. What for? Receiving something on a visit. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Never received anything. So anyway, next day, we're in front of the governor. And Samuel Ralston's been brought down from the wing. He's in the digger now as well, right? And so I'm sitting in this, in with the governor, the SOPOs, you know what I mean? Because I was quite a violent person in the prison, to be honest with you. So there was always plenty of people, plenty of officers and shit like that around me whenever they brought me to a cell, especially when I was in solitary confinement. And so I'm sitting there, and as I'm sitting here, there's a door to my left, and there's a little glass panel, and I can see out the glass panel, and I can see into the holding cell across the landing, and Big Samuel's jumping up, doing all that. You know what I mean? It's just one of them characters, right? So anyway, the governor's like, you took something off Samuel Ralston passed you something, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I never. I don't know what you're talking about. No, didn't I never. So anyway, she was all cocky and all that, right? She's like, it was a woman, governor, she's like, play the video, to one of the SOs and the people, you know what I mean? They're like, so all the screws and all that, we're all in this wee room, we're all watching this screen, you know? So you see Samuel's on the visit, right? He's like this. On camera, crystal clear, HD, 4K, honestly. He's like that. Right, and he's got it in his hand. So the governor's like, there, he's got it in his hand, right? He's got it in his hand. So then Samuel gets up from his table, I gets up from my table. And remember now, there's only us two in the whole visit. There's a big, massive visit room in Shots, and he's done. And you've got it. You've just taken it off him, right? So then when I've sat down, the camera at the angle of my right hand side, that's where it was in my hand, right? They've seen me going like that, right? So they're seeing my hand going up and down like that, but they're not realising my thumb isn't there. So they're all like, the governor's like, what's he done, mate? Where is it? Because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, my hand's wide open. That's honest to God, right? So I'm sitting there loving this, you know what I mean? I'm like, see, I told you, these are all nuts. These are all nuts. I'm looking around, Samo's still jumping about, giving all that out this wee window. It's fucking hilarious, like. Not guilty. Not guilty. Samo, not guilty. You know, brilliant. But the thing is, guys, if I had been anybody else, believe you me, anybody else, them screws would have run in there and jumped on us. They would have jumped on us, and we would have fought them. Me and Samo would have fought them, like. But obviously, Samo would have just been picking them up and throwing them about, picking one up and picking one screw up and hitting another screw with that screw. You know what I mean? That's how. I mean, this guy hit the punch bag in shots right down at the gym. It's just a good wee bit away from the wings, and you could hear it. I don't know if it was traveling through the ground or what was going on. You could hear boom, boom. This guy was brutal. Honestly, see if this guy was hit me. You'd need to send a search party out for my head. You'd need to send a search party out. This guy would just boom, it would come clean off. That's how powerful this guy was. But he was an absolute gentleman and a really nice guy. Didn't take no shit from nobody. Didn't take no shit from his screws. A proper, true. I don't know what's the word. Just a really good moral man. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, he's back in prison, and he will always. He's an armed robber, so he is just like me. Right, sorry, guys. I know I've missed some. Is there any way you can visit him, Freedom Dad? Has human rights are torturing him? Is there any way you can Precious? No, definitely not. One of the reasons why I could never do anything like that is because the press would have a field day. Could you imagine? X, and they wouldn't even say X. They would say loyalist. They would go UVF, man. They would make it really like Power Multi, some Ulster visiting Tommy Robinson. You get me? Even if I was to email them, write them a letter, they would get a hold of that and they would use that and make it and use it in a negative way to get people to dislike Tommy. You know what I mean? Anything they can. So a lot of people have got to be very careful. Like, you can't just reach out. You know what I mean? It depends who you are. In another world, if I had a different life, maybe I would have been able. I would love to be in a position to be able to do that. Maybe one day, you know what I mean? I'd like to get all my past put behind me, get everything out there, and let you all know exactly what's happened to me, and then hopefully I'll let the public make their decision about me, and maybe one day I'll get into politics and run for something somewhere. That's what I would like to do, guys. It's the only way I can be assured I'm doing the best for my daughter, Live chat, all messages are visible. Okay. Let me see, guys, 2 seconds. Because this is about you, by the way. I'm sorry for going on and on there. Like, anyone with any kind of platform, they are banning. They are using Tommy as a pawn to show his supporters the power they have. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hi, everybody. Fiona Staggs. Hi, Fiona. Vanda, John Rankin, Eddie. Hi, Lee. Everybody say hello to Lee. Lee. How you doing, son? Good to have you on board, mate. Really, really good to have you on board. 2 seconds. Oh, good. I mean, I know. Could you imagine it? Could you imagine a bank robber? Oh my God, man. You never know, eh? You never know. Yeah, everybody will say hello to Lee, will you please? You know what I mean? He's honestly, he's one of the bravest guys I know, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know he's got. I know he doesn't mind me saying, like, but a wee bit of bad news from the doctor. Just wanting to do some more checks, but it's like, guys, the doctors will say we need to do it, and I'm not. You know what I mean? We're all adults, and we're none of us are stupid. We all know what's ahead is. We all know that what the risks that we have going forward in life, and it's on. I believe when you smoke, especially if you smoke cannabis and stuff like that, and that's not Lee does that, but like for myself, you will always worry about the big C and other things, I worry about all sorts of things, but that's just part of mental health, guys, you know what I mean? Yeah, good, Eddie. Yeah, Eddie, I'm going to say hello to Eddie as well. Eddie's a great patriot, guys, very, very active online. very interactive, always got time for people, always sending people messages, always replying to messages, has always got the time of day, and that means an awful lot. So Eddie, thank you so much for being a part of my life, mate. It means an awful lot to me, like all these guys. It's amazing, like it's amazing having so many patriots together, you know, and having so many of us all thinking the same and feeling the same, you know what I mean? Come on, boys wanting up this. Come on, son. You never go online. You never go online, do you? Yeah? What's your retail? Come on. You want to say hello to everybody? Turn around. Oh, you're going to knock it over your right tail. Come here. Come, turn around. That's it. He wants a cuddle. He just wants a cuddle. Come here. Did you see the photograph of him as a wee puppy I put up yesterday? Oh, look at him now. I can burn it in. Your tail keeps getting caught in it, mister. He's still a big baby, so he is. Freedom's on our future. That is right, Eddie, son. Thank you very much, precious. There is. We have the best community, without a doubt. And you know what's good as well? That, you know, we're all Tommy Robinson supporters, and all I want to do is say this to you, by the way, guys, because I know last night with Kai, and you know, I always say this: not everybody supports Tommy Robinson for one reason or another, and I don't even think he doesn't support him. He just has an opinion and criticisms, which is good. I know Tommy, just like me, doesn't mind criticisms. You know, at the end of the day, my platform, I'm never going to stop anybody having opinions on my platform. I will have most people on my platform, and go on in, son. Wait, lie down now, son. And yeah, it's not, I like having difference of opinions. Right, boy, that's not working either, wee man. Oh, now Tulip's wanting up. You know what I mean? Come on, Tulip. Up you come. Come on. Come on. Then you're all down, because I'm going to have a wee smoke in a second. Yeah, it's I don't want us all beating the same drum all the time. It's good for opinions. It was good last night. We had a couple of really good questions, and I definitely invite more people like that to come on and question our politics, question our ways, question our reasonings, because we're open for any debate or question. I will debate and answer anybody's question about anything. I believe in what I believe, and I stand so strongly behind my values and my beliefs, and I truly believe in my heart that I am right and everybody else is wrong, as far as we go as the left and the right, you know. And it's not like blindly, bitterly following a certain ideology. I've thought long and hard about this, you know. Yes, this is boy. So this is Tulip, which is boy's granddaughter. So she's third generation of my line of pugs. Evening, Freedom Dad. Hi, James. James, thanks for coming on, mate. They are blocked Tommy's lads #1. Freedom Dad, they blocked Tommy's lads number off his list. Now, the hell are they getting away with this? Yeah, it's a prison. They'll put it down to the security of the prison, you know, and that's basically it. They can do whatever they want in there. I didn't see any trouble on Saturday. No, I didn't. I don't think there was any trouble on Saturday. If there was any trouble on Saturday, it'll be between a couple of patriots who don't get on. I was worried because I knew a few different people that were going that have problems. And, I was worried that, because I know certain guys, you know, and like, all these guys have just sort of not long come up, you know what I mean? And it's all pretty new to them as well, you know what I mean? And there is a lot of rivalry. There's a lot of people don't get on, and, you know, I do know these things, and it does worry me that, because I know if certain people meet, there's problems. Whether it's a Tommy Robinson rally or whether it's in the middle of a church, if these two guys meet, there's going to be a problem. And I know a few situations they got, you know. What's your thoughts on knife crime? Once again, a child stabbed to death in school. What's the world coming to? Yeah. The knife crime's going to get a lot worse, mate. So it is, Paddington. It's going to get a lot worse because it's the way of the world. in the parts of the world where these people are coming from. We had a knife, like I've never been brought up in knife crime. Where I come from, if you were to stab somebody, you would get shot for it. You know, you have a square go, you know, you have a square go, you get beat, you know what I mean? You don't go running and getting a weapon or a knife. If you're outnumbered, you get a weapon, you don't get a knife. I've never grew up with knives or anybody carrying knives or anything like that all my life. I've never heard of anybody carrying a knife or anybody getting stabbed. One of my best mates was hacked to death with machetes. Okay, um, Mark Christie, his name is. I'm just going to talk about him. Krusty, his nickname. He's from Northern Ireland, and I know some of my friends on here know who I'm talking about. Very good friend. Grew up with him, and it was a sore one for me because I wasn't there. I was in England, you know, and I would like to think if I was there, it wouldn't have happened. But you know, there's a lot more to it than what I can talk about. But the end of the day, you know, that's the only incident. So there's another guy called Davy Finn, a Shankill Road boy who was stabbed outside the Kentucky Fried Chicken in Belfast. He was a Protestant. He was by Catholics. That's the only two that I can really think of. Now I know there's been other ones where people had been, you know what I mean, but you know, that's like an assassination, you know what I mean, sort of thing. It's no like somebody just randomly getting stabbed, you know. So it's not something I grew up with, not something I know much about. I know that there was a lot in there's a lot of slashings in Glasgow, in Scotland, in the jails. It's quite bad, but that's a jail. That's just the way it is. The normal thing, if you're a Rungian, down the face, so everybody knows you're a Rungian, no matter where you go in life, you've got that razor. That's what that's about. That's why people do that. The marquee, the letter where people know that you're dodgy. Um, so that's my experience of that. Never seen that before in Belfast. In England was the worst. England was the worst with knives and stabbings and stuff like that. Really bad, brutal. And like I say, that was in Aylesbury, and it was like 75% black. And that was just the culture. That's what they do. You know, they fight with knives, you know, whereas we fight with our fists. And you know, we have a dash. They fight with knives. They will not fight fairly. And that's the way it is with these people that are coming over as well with the machete. It's what they're used to. It's what they're used to where they're from, and they're bringing that culture with them. And then what you've got on the top of that, then you've then got local British guys who are scared to go out without a knife now because they know all these other guys, Albanians and all that, are all tooled up to the gunnels. All these young guys in London and East End and Croydon, none of them boys are Tottenham. They're not going out anywhere without unless they're packing. You know what I mean? So therefore, that means other young guys are going to have to, you know, and it's always the same way. Most people who are unalived by knife crime are normally by their own knives, believe it or not, you know. And I don't know if that's majority, or I shouldn't really say most, but I think there's a good percentage of people who die by the knife. It is their own knife, you know, which is sad because they're only, these kind of people, they're scared, they're frightened. That's why they've got the knife, you know. Sorry, guys. So let's just keep going here. Back in Kent, back in the 80s, throat and several other places. Lucky survivor. Yeah, very lucky in the throat. I got cut here. I got cut there in the throat, so I did. I think it was either, it's there somewhere. Let me be able to see it. It was right under here. Hold on, just going to watch your thoughts on knife crime, cover that. Eddie Cool. Kai sparked my mind about Nick when I was blinded to the surrounding issues. I saw him on items pod. He never mentioned anything negative past, but we are not perfect. Well, this is the thing, you know what I mean, as well, guys. You know, like I say, Kai's got his own opinions. That's what he believes. That's the way he is, you know, and he's entitled to his own opinions. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know anything about the guy. And, you know, I don't know what else to say, you know what I mean? Obviously, these things are important when we're voting for somebody, you know, and I also do believe that, you know, we can, listen, I haven't been an angel, you know what I mean? And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not a bad person, you know, so I do believe we need to there has to be repentance along the line for everybody. As far as this pastor guy, I just seen somebody mention that. Pastor Rick is very dodgy, and Nick has made him spokesperson of art and culture. See, this is the thing. You know, this is the problem with a lot of these people. Night all tea, Lee, is that your way, son? Get your tea. Thanks, mate. By the way, guys, Lee is helping me get my fridge, freezer, and my cooker. So I'll just let you know that I'm not. I probably be annoyed at me telling you this, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, he's helping me out with my fridge, freezer, and cooker. Obviously, I'm paying him back. You know, there's no, I would take nothing for nothing. But you know, I'm not going to go into details. But he's got a way of getting it, and then it works out pretty good for both of us. You know what I mean? So absolute gentleman. So he is, guys. He really is. Like, he's a bit. You know what I mean? The council, the government have failed me and let me down. But you guys never do. You never do, like. Right. I just ate. Good evening, Lee. Enjoy, Lee. Good night, Lee. I collect knives. I have a large roll with many different types, but I have the biggest respect for knives after being attacked in the 90s at Glastonbury. Yeah. I know people do collect stuff like that. Personally, it's not my cup of tea, mate. But I've got one there, you could probably have, mate. You know what I mean? Sorry, I actually got it in a collection. I bought a collection of model ships, American warships. Don't be small things. They're over there. Oh, I found my phone. I'll show you it. What's your thoughts on Tommy's visits being cancelled? Richard M and now Paul Thorpe. Yeah, I did cover that. Like I say, guys, this is the prison, and they can do it if they want to do it. They can do it. I don't expect any less from them. It's just another way of getting them. They're not happy with what's going on outside. They're not happy that the government are getting slaughtered. You know. This is the comeback for Tommy for everything that the Americans are doing and saying against the Labour government. Believe you me. Yeah, I've cut my finger a few times in the last couple of days, so I have been decorating, sanding, non-stop sanding wood. Like you say, we all have differences. What's your thoughts on Tommy's visit? Yeah. Liam Tuff's visit was also cancelled. Oh, sake. Paddington, Hurley, I need a new car. Did you hear any more about your motorbike? The motorbike. I'm not with John. I'm doing it. I've been away all day dealing with it. So I have, and it's been stolen, and I've got people out. I've got the right people looking in the right places, and to be honest with you, mate, I'm not really caring about the bike. You know, the bike was a nightmare. You know what I mean? It's the principle of who's took it and who's involved in it being taken. That's all I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Good riddance to the bike as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Katie will be crying up and saying that. I hated her on the bike, mate. I hated her on that bike. You know. She was riding that bike when she was pregnant. You know what I mean? Motorbike. She just, you know, because she's so independent. Yeah, so yeah, John, I wasn't too far away from you today, Johnny boy, John Rankin. I was up at Falkirk today. Jesus, where are all these human rights activists and lawyers when it comes to Tommy's rights? Yeah, I know the ones that do all the immigration lawyers and all that. I know. Oh, sorry, John. It's because I've got. I understand. I can see what I'm doing now. Right, sorry about that, mate. Right, that's exactly where the thingies were, but I'll stop doing that. So, anybody, any questions? I'm just going to have a wee smoke. We roll up. Yeah, lots of people are wanting to protest at the prison. Do you think this is a good idea? While you're at it, Lee, can I have a shade? Yeah, you're all funny guys, aren't you? It's like, you know what I mean? Sitting here with no cooker, guys. See, man, having to rub two bits of wood together to get a flame to go just to burn a bit of toast. Oh shit, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. Shit. All right, wee bit bungers. Hi folks, hope everyone's good. Is his legal team on the bail? Just they seem to be watching the story go by. On the ball. Honestly, guys, the legal team can't really do much. I promise you, this isn't outside law. This is prison law. You know, there is lawyers that cover stuff like that. You know what I mean? There is lawyers that deal with prison stuff. You know what I mean? All the lawyers can do is write letters. As far as protesting outside the jail is going to do absolutely no good. There's not a protest in the world that's going to do any good. All the government want is use the protest and there to be trouble. That's what the government want. The government want us to kick off. You know, the best thing we can do is just send Tommy emails, send him some cards, send him some love, guys. Let him know you're thinking about him, and you know he knows what he's doing. He's digging down. At the end of the day, this is part and parcel of his activism. He's been through a lot worse. So please believe me, Tommy Robinson is a very strong man, you know, and these kind of things are to be expected. The Labour Party are panicking. The establishment are panicking. They're all running scared of Tommy Robinson getting out. Can you imagine what his voice is going to be like when he comes out of there? Can you imagine how loud his voice? Can you imagine how many people around the world are going to be tuned in to Tommy Robinson's first interview? My God, this is when the British government are going to see what they have created. Believe you me, and the government know there will be people now going to the government. You know what? We've made a big fucking mistake with Tommy Robinson. We have made this man a legend. They have turned him into a legend. And now, right now, today, last week, maybe not even a month ago, they're realizing that, guys. So there's a lot of pennies dropping all over the place because there's a lot of phone calls getting made from America and all around the world to Labour Party. And they will be getting threatened with all sorts, with embargoes. I'm telling you now, Trump and Trump's team will be saying that Labour, if you do not release Tommy Robinson, we will hold you responsible. You cannot, there's nowhere in the Western world is a government allowed to do this to another human being. Okay? Yes, they're doing it, but they're not allowed to do it, and everybody around the world knows they're not allowed to do it. And the fact that they done it is one of the best things that could have happened to Tommy, because it now highlights exactly how bad the government are, how cruel, how torturously cruel they are to a human being. Let's not forget this, guys. This is a normal guy, a civilian that's rotten in jail in solitary confinement, a journalist for telling the truth, for making a film about the truth of a young man who the government made out to be some sort of hero when he all along he was the worst of the worst. He was one of the worst behaved kids in the school. He was a bully. He was picking on girls. He was hitting girls. None of the teachers, everybody was against him, and they had him in the European courts. They had him in the Houses of Parliament. How embarrassing must that be now for the government? Imagine everybody that got on. Piers Morgan, look what he slaughtered wee Bailey. Bailey was 15 years old when Piers Morgan was on that TV show, basically putting a big target on a young boy's back because everybody believed that Pure Jamal was some pure little refugee boy who was being waterboarded for no reason. And this is what the establishment pushed. This is what Piers Morgan pushed. This is what the mainstream media pushed. And they pushed it that hard. There's no going back. It's all there. And now the truth is that they ended up paying off all the teachers. They paid off all the people, some of the council, because they were protesting outside schools. They were protesting outside police stations. They were hunting that young man's family down. People were getting windows put in. This was serious. And this was the government that created this. The government. And Tommy just highlighted it because of young Bailey, a young 15-year-old boy who was getting persecuted by our government. Our government put a target on one of our kids' backs. A targeted by men that has came into this country, basically. You know, it wasn't being targeted by young British guys or, you know, young British guys born and bred and grannies and granddads and all the rest of it. These men were either children of immigrants or were immigrants that were hunting down one of our young kids because the government lied, told an absolute complete lie, so they could push the rhetoric of immigration and look how good we do bring these poor Syrians over. Well, I hope Jamal's going back to Syria if that's where he's from, because it's a safe country now, you know. Yeah, the whole thing stunk from hell high, and this is why the government are so angry, because Tommy has shown this to the world. 150 million people plus have now seen the crimes that our government done against that young 15-year-old Bailey. That's what this is all about. This is about an attack on a young child from our country by our government. You know, nothing more. Our government, Piers Morgan, the mainstream media, the newspapers, The Guardian, Hope Not Hate, Nick Lowell's, End Racism, they're all implicit on targeting a 15-year-old child, making him out to be some sort of monster when all he was doing was protecting his young sister. That's all he was doing. He was doing nothing more than any one of us would have done. You know, a school ground punch up, even if it was a punch up, there was no punches thrown. You know, he was just making an example. He couldn't fight the wee boy because the wee boy had plaster in his hand. Yeah, that shows you. That tells me how much of a young man Bailey truly was, because he never hit the boy because he couldn't, because the boy couldn't fight back. So he just splashed water on his face, and we see where that went. You know, and the whole world now sees the Labour Party for what they truly are. They see the Conservatives for what they truly are. How they failed their own people. Everybody around the world is watching our government failing us, their own people. You know, there's nothing we can do about that. There's nothing Labour can do about it. There's nothing nobody can do to change the fact that the whole world is looking at this country right now in disgust at our government. Not just Labour Party, but also the Tories, of everything they've done, allowing the absolute desecration of our youth in some of the areas in England. You know, sorry for going on, guys. Has anybody checked on his health? Has he seen his doctor? Yes, he will be. He get plenty. He won't see his own doctor. I don't know if the lawyers will can get his. Sometimes you can get your own doctor in if you're not happy. But he will have plenty of things to see the doctor. But I wouldn't trust the prison doctor, to be honest with you. Obviously, guys. Right, let me just. I heard his son has been refused visit. Also, no phone call. Yes, send Valentine's card. That's a great idea. Who's that picture behind? That picture, that is Katie's brother and Katie's sister, and that's Katie. Katie's sister. I guess her birthday today. Katie's sister's no longer here. So Katie's had to go through that as well. I think this is coming up to her third year now, so it is. Just watched Jeff Taylor. Prison till next Friday to respond, and there will be regular protests outside the prison's 15-year-old son. The number has been blocked. Okay. Just keep going till the next time, September next year. Millions made out of the John, yeah, and there was millions made out of the poor boy. I know. The wee shit was well known by teachers, students alike for being terrorists who had serious problems with women. Yeah, I know. Oh no, we know all this now, mate. It's shocking, absolutely shocking what our government have done. I pray to God there will be the right outcome. He shouldn't be there, especially in these barbaric conditions. Where do you think is the worst affected place in Belfast by this illegal immigrant madness? last time I was in it, took 2 to 3 to see a doc. Yeah. Um, to be honest with you guys, the worst places in Belfast would be like Northern Ireland isn't that bad. I'm going to tell you that now. To be honest with you, none of the refugees or immigrants wants to go to Belfast. Simple as that. There was a lot went on in the past with I'm not too sure if it was Polish guys or I might be telling lies, but there has been problems. There has been there has been people came into Belfast and didn't really realize what Belfast was about and thought they could do what they do everywhere else, and it didn't turn out too well for them. So I think because of the organizational of the paramilitaries. I'm sorry for the thumb, guys. I need to get in. I need to get in a habit of not doing this. Right. I didn't realize that I can do it anywhere on the screen, so I'll do it over here. So basically, yeah, it's if you were a refugee or an immigrant, where would you go? Would you go to Belfast or would you go to Dublin? You know, if I think if anywhere's going to be conceptible to immigration, it would be the Catholic areas because obviously they support Palestine and all the rest of it. But you got to understand, Northern Ireland is a very religious place, and they will not let a church or a chapel get turned into a mosque. I doubt very much. I doubt that very much. So no, it's not the ideal place for these type of people who are coming in undocumented to go and stay. When you've got other places like England that are like hotels and like the government are bending over backwards for criminals and terrorists that are coming in the country, why would they go to Belfast where life isn't so easy for them? Let's be honest. Right. So last time I was, and it took to it does sometimes it can. Katie and her family. Thank you, Vanda. Thank you so much. It is a difficult time for Katie and her mum. I'll be honest with you. Like Katie found her sister. Her sister wasn't well, and like my Katie's been through it, guys. I mean, trauma. Like my Katie's been through it. And that's why I'm with her. I don't think I could find a stronger person than Katie. For being 23, what she's been through. Like being abused at 12, going through that court case, the foreigner getting an unconditional discharge. That was hard for her to deal with, you know what I mean? And then, losing her sister, a few years ago, trying to doing CPR and that on her, trying to bring her back. It's horrific for a young, we're talking like she would have been about 19 at the time, horrific, absolutely horrific, you know what I mean? But she's such a strong person, you know what I mean? Like I say, the money that she got from the abuse, she put away for a horse, and she got herself a wee motorbike, and she's very independent, and she's one of the bravest, strongest, and most intelligent girls I know. And I always say this, like, there's women in their 40s, and 50s that are nowhere near to have their life experiences that Katie's had, So the way I look at it with Katie, I'm looking at her right now going, wow, and I'm thinking, what are you going to be like when you're 30? What are you going to be like when you're 40? Lucky's very, very lucky. Believe you me, my wee daughter is a very lucky wee girl to have a mother like Katie, and I'm so proud to have found Katie. I'm so proud to have found such an amazing mother for my daughter. Whether me and Katie stay together or whether me and Katie go our separate ways because of the age difference, I do not want Katie looking after me and going into later on in life. And I want Katie to have a really happy and good life, and not being current, like having a cure for me and all that nonsense, you know what I mean? And that's really important, you know what I mean? Really important because she deserves the best in life, you know what I mean? So thank you, Vanda. I will pass that on. Yeah, John, this is another thing with the drugs and the crime. The foreigners have completely taken over. I'm telling you now. I'm speaking to guys and the people. So obviously you've got wholesale, right? You've got wholesale. You've got people who sell clicks, kilos. Okay, so you're talking between 23,000 to 27 to 28,000 for a kilo. Okay, and the people that are buying these, depending on the more you buy, the cheaper it is. Okay, simple as that. And you can mark up 100 grand. You're marking up 100 grand on that kilo, so you can quite easy, you know. And I'm there's guys that are, you know, everything's changing, you know. It's all the foreigners now that have got it all, you know, and they're jumping all over it, you know. Whereas before, these guys would get a click and they would jump on it and turn 1 kilo into maybe three, right? Whatever it is, mixing it with whatever, you know. They're not able to do that anymore because it's already getting jumped over. And the other thing is there's a lot of stuff coming from Pakistan and Afghanistan, and it's they don't care. You know, this is where you're getting a lot of overdose. They're selling weak stuff, right? They're putting weak stuff out for maybe a year, and then they're flooding the market with really strong stuff. And then all the heroin users are thinking they're still putting the same amount of the weak stuff in, and they're ODing, and they're doing it on purpose, you know. But there's all sorts of things going on right now, and it's all directed at destroying our country. It's another way of terrorism. Selling drugs to our most vulnerable people in our country is another way of terrorizing this country, and the government don't seem to be doing nothing about it, you know. Like I say, guys, there's more drugs in the jail than there is on the street sometimes. You know, everywhere you go, there's white, there's brown, there's all sorts of things. You know what I mean? There's too much of it. You know, surely it doesn't make any sense. Does it make any sense to use? You know, if I was in charge of customs, if I was, I'm pretty sure I could stop drugs. I'm pretty sure I could stop people selling drugs. We really could. You know, if I was in charge, I could probably have the drug stuff cut down within 6 months. You know, easy peasy, easy peasy. Yeah, the Russians. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, John. John, every time I walk down the road into Belfast, I see people coming out of houses. There's no fucking way they could afford to live in. You hit the nail on the head there, bro. I thoughts and prayers for Katie at this difficult time. Thank you so much. You know, she's quite strong, and like to be honest with you, with grief, you know what I mean. I always try and like I say to you, this is exactly what I say to Katie. You know what I mean. Your loved ones don't want you sitting down here. There's two things. There's two things you got to remember, guys. Right. So there's two ways of looking at this. One, your loved ones are up there looking down at you. Right. That's one. Two, your loved ones are just gone and they don't see you. They're just gone. You'll never see them again. They'll never see you again. So there's the two scenarios that people have in their head when they lose their loved ones. So let's address the first one. Okay. So if they're up there looking down at you, how do you think they would feel if you're sitting down here crying and upset and missing out on some things in life because of a birthday or an anniversary, where instead of going out and maybe meeting an opportunity that may change your life, you're sitting in the house grieving? How do you think your loved ones feel? You know, my mother looks down at me and she just shakes her head like that, disappointed. I know that, like quite a lot. I know that, you know, but there is a lot of times when she's looking down and she's so proud of me. I know that as well, you know, but the main thing is she's always looking down at me. So I don't want her looking down and seeing me breaking my heart and feeling so sad and making her feel bad because she died of cancer and maybe she shouldn't have smoked and all the rest of it. You know, I don't want her dying over and over and over again, because that's what it could be like if it was me up there and my wee Lucky was down here breaking her heart every fucking day because I wasn't there. That would kill me up there. So that's one way of looking at it, right? Two, if they're not there and you're sitting down here grieving, crying, who are you doing it for? You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself. So it's a selfish act, you know. And I know it sounds a bit nasty or a bit cruel me saying that, but I'm being logical and being realistically, you know, if that's what you believe, then why get upset because they're gone? You're not crying for them. You're just crying for yourself. So therefore selfishness. So there's no point you doing that to yourself. There's no reason. There's nothing to come out of it. You understand. Once you understand that, then, but truthfully, they're up there looking down at you. They're always next to you, right beside you, all the time. I've seen my wee Lucky. I'm sort of going, right, I'm into all that. And I'd be sitting and I'd be like, because I can see Lucky looking at somebody. I know my Lucky's looking at somebody loads of times, loads and loads of times. And I've said, if that's you, Mum, move over to there. And my Lucky's moved their head. Right? Whether it was my mum, whether it was Katie's sister, whether it was Margaret, my foster mum, or whether it was my wife wanting to come and see my daughter. I don't know, but there's something and there's somebody there that we cannot see 110%, but babies can. Why are loyalist powers working with them? See, John, I can't really answer that because I'm not involved in none of that, mate. You know what I mean? Um, you got to understand that all power multis will be working with everybody. I've grew up with both sides working with each other behind the scenes for certain things. You know what I mean? When it comes to that kind of thing, the drug side of it, there's no religion and there's no borders when it comes to drug dealing, as far as I'm concerned. Let's be honest, they're drug dealers, so they're scumbags. They're putting poison on their streets for our children to OD and cause domestic abuse and cause people to break into houses and steal so they can feed their habit. These people that are selling these drugs are scumbags. So you can understand then that they've got no morals. They're going to deal with anybody. They don't care. They're all going to hell. Every one of them. Because they got government grant to keep things sweet. 2 weeks, 8 good men, a forensic accountant, and a private detective. I'd have all those fucker backed and tagged. Yeah, you better believe it, man. You would never stop drugs, man. Every culture, the war on drugs has been long lost, man. No, I would stop drugs. I'm fucking telling you, I would stop drugs. I would give every single drug dealer a life sentence. I would have a jail just for drug dealers. I really would. And they wouldn't get TVs for at least 5 years until they realised that the thing. I would. I'm no kidding you on. I'm sick of people not realising how bad drug dealers truly are, the damage that they're doing in the communities, and people's children, mothers and fathers that don't know where their kids are. Their kids are playing up, their moods are going through the roof because they're getting drugs. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be drugs in our communities. Drug dealers should be hounded out of every community. If you know a drug dealer in your community, you should be spraying their names on the walls. That's the way it should be. Anybody sells drugs in your area and you find out about it, you spray it on the wall, and then where everybody walks by, next to the shop where everybody goes, you name and you shame people until people are like, oh, God, there's other ways of making money. I'm not wanting my name sprayed everywhere. I don't want everybody to know I'm a drug dealer. That's how you stop people drug dealing, and you put people away for a long time for selling drugs. Stop stealing the addicts. You know what I mean? Jeez, oh. It's not hard. You put out healthy sentences for people destroying children's lives and destroying communities. Believe you me, people will think of another profession before they think about going down and selling drugs. Trust me on that. Like, there was no smack on the streets when I was a kid because the dealers got shot. Yeah, well, see, John, I'm starting to hear that now. There's a lot of that stuff over there. That breaks my heart, mate. That breaks my heart. One of the reasons why I don't go back, because I know what I would do. I know exactly the road and direction I would go if I was back in Northern Ireland, and I wouldn't last long. I wouldn't last long. I would get taken off the numbers because I wouldn't tolerate that in my own country. I would never tolerate drug dealing in my own country, guys. Their own laws, exactly, John. Yes, I think up to 4 to 5 years. Old Chelsea Spurts. Yeah, definitely, Eddie. Train spotting made Smack look good in the late 90s. Yeah. Scary thing is, they hang out at school gates looking for runners. Yeah. Did you not do time with drug dealers? Yes, of course I did. This was full of drug dealers. Crystal meth on our streets now. Freedom Dad. I can't. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I didn't think it was crystal meth here, like Eddie. Police near me don't seem to be bothering raiding houses for drugs anymore. Yeah, and this is a thing, you know. Like I'm not saying like cannabis dealers and all that, guys. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, all my friends are getting cannabis medically now. You know, cold coffee. Yeah, that message, that comment there about did I not do time in prison for? Yeah, I wasn't in for drug dealing, but yes, I was in with drug dealers. Yeah, yeah, and I might have had something a wee bit to do with the drugs in the jail, but that's in prison. You know, I would never sell drugs on the street. You know, I could be a drug dealer. I could be, I could sell anything and everything. I've got the product and I've got the custom because people know me, you know, and nobody would rip me off. You know what I mean? I could give it out to people that do. I could be sitting here making a fortune. It's because it's that easy. You know, you get 3 or 4 ounces and then you cut it in the quarters or whatever, and you make a fortune. You make a really big markup, depending who you know and how cheap you can get it. You know, it is a very profitable thing to do. And I understand why people do it, but the reason why they do it is because there's no deterrent. Fentanyl is very fair too. Jeez, oh. Biggest drug dealers are the DRs. Stop. Yeah. Definitely. That's what you're saying, Pad, because YouTube don't like that. It's the life's FD. But yeah, it's wrong, man. Yeah, kids die. You know, at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm not here to slaughter anybody, guys. You know, I'm here at the end of the day, you know, we all do things in the past because I've got friends. You got to understand, I have got friends that were drug dealers, you know, but it was back in the 90s, and it was more like it wasn't like I don't have any friends that sold the serious stuff, you know. The friends that I knew, would be doing like ecstasy tablets, you know, amphetamines, uppers, downers, you know. It was like, you know, the dance scene and all that. And that was it. It was kept for the dance scene. It was kept for Saturday night. They weren't on the street selling it to the young ones trying to make a fortune, doing wee tenner bags and all that carry on. But I've done the weed and booze. Ecstasy, yep. Yeah, we all make mistakes. But it's true, guys. These not agree. If there was a deterrent, if you were to get minimum 10 years for selling any amount of Class A drugs, how many people do you think would sell Class A drugs? Let's be honest. If you know for a fact, even if you get caught selling a couple of gram, if you know, obviously they need to prove that you're actually a dealer, not just somebody that's bought like a quarter and shared it between their mates to get the money back and maybe make a wee tenner. I'm talking about police who are the actual dealers. You know what I mean? You know, anybody that's bringing in wholesale drugs into this country should be left off naturally, never get out of prison again. That should be the standard for the big ones. And then the ones doing it on the street should be a minimum of 10 years. And they do 10 years. And then it's up to the parole board and anybody else, whether they get out after that. You know what I mean? And if they commit another crime, like selling drugs again, then they're left off. Simple as that. And once that laid down in law, people would stop selling drugs. People would start getting apprentices, joinery, plumbing, because I'm not kidding you on, guys. It is that lucrative. The young guys are seeing older guys jumping about in BMWs, sitting about. Do you know? I'll tell you something. You're going to think this is nuts, right? Who's it? Is John away? Who's John? Let me see. Night John at the scene. Night John. John. What John's away? No, John Rankin's still here. John Capone's still here. John Dillinger's still here. Emerald 90 Coke is everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm not kidding you on, like, it's everywhere. Every pub, everybody. You can't go into a pub and you see them coming in out of the toilets. It's everywhere. You know, I've been there. Guys, I'm not sitting here saying I'm not an angel. I've been there. I had a serious habit with cocaine, you know. Not serious. After my wife died, you know, I went a wee bit nuts, you know what I mean? But that was it. Stopped after that. I don't take coke. Never been able to take coke. It doesn't. It works the opposite for me to everybody else. Everybody, all my friends, everybody that knows me will. They'll tell you I cannot take coke. I've tried. Been out with my mates. We Charlie Bump, we Len Charlie. I'm like before. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Buzzing running about with my mates, having a crack, having a laugh, making people laugh. You know, enjoy my. You know, like I'm talking about my best friends. And then somebody gets a line out, boom, and then I'm like, swear to God, that is what it does to me. And I don't know why. And it's always done that to me. I'm off Freedom Dad chat going out with the dog and the Wayne later. All right, John, thanks for popping in, buddy. Thank you for popping in, mate. Go to steroid. See you, John. I would think the drug dealing is more stressful. Most have habits to feed. Yeah, yes, John. That's different. That is people with addictions. But right, I'm going to tell you something. Laurie, it's something. 15 years. I've never heard of it. Part of Norna. About 15 years ago, it was never. Yeah, I know. Right. So this is what's going on in Scotland today. I could lift that phone up, right? I'm not kidding you on, and search onto Messenger and other apps. And this is what they do in Scotland. They send messages out in block, right? So say I was to hook up with this guy on Facebook, right? Messenger. You got a wee gram, bang. See, from that moment we make contact every day or every other day, from morning to nighttime. They put up offers, all the different offers, from a gram to a half quarter to a quarter to a half ounce to an ounce, all the different prices, the deals, Tuesday deals and all. I swear on my mother's grave, this is constant. This is what they're all doing. It's totally blatant. Nobody cares. They run about in cars all over the place, everywhere in Scotland. All the young ones jump. You have one guy, two guys, main guys, and they'll have maybe 4 or 5 young guys all jumping about in wee cars all around the place, and it's all done blatantly and wide open on Facebook Marketplace, not Marketplace, on Messenger, WhatsApp groups, and it's just blatant, guys. Absolutely, and I'm not kidding you on. I'm shocked. You know, I've had mates and they show me their phones, and I'm like, are they fucking working for the police? How can they be getting away with that? You know, and that's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on. Telegram, yeah, I don't have Telegram, but yeah, Snapchat is bad. Yeah, Snapchat's another one. You know, crazy. Yeah, taxis and Uber. Well, obviously, you know what I mean. Obviously, the taxis are going to be involved. You know what I mean. That'll be in everything. Yeah, I'm smoking. Allowed to smoke on YouTube, so I am. So why is it not being stopped? I kind of stopped going out once Coke started getting big here. So why is what's not being stopped, padding pad? I kind of stopped going out. Yeah, I know. Government doesn't give a fuck, lad. Oh, I know that. It's Paddington, what? So why is it not being stopped? What are you talking about? Yeah, well, John, I'm not going to say that on here, you know. But yeah. But yeah, I do, you know. I do believe you're onto something there, mate. No other reason they're still walking around, you know. There's a lot of clever guys out there, guys. You've got to understand that as well. I know a lot of big names, and you know, these guys are clever. You know, it's very easy to go, oh, they must be grassing, but some of them are just really clever. They don't touch anything. They don't use phones. They don't use anything. You know what I mean? 2 seconds, guys. Two seconds. I just need to do this. If my battery doesn't go dead on this one, just need to make a quick call. Two seconds, guys. Oh, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to let me. I can't phone you. I'm trying to do it in Messenger. I can see your messages if you want to send. Nah, it's gone. It's dead. Phone's dead. Live chat visible. This quote is for the woke. No other reason they're still wanting about it. You know it's true. I'm saying nothing. All these social media dealers. Yeah. Oh, aye. Oh, there's definitely 110%. I can see it with my own eyes, guys. There's what's this here? Waiting for others to join. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Sorry, I've just got another phone here. Missed call. Calling. 2 seconds, guys. That's calling. 2 seconds. Sorry. Hello. No. Try calling. Katie, try calling you. Just call me back. The phone's in front of me. All these social media dealers. Yeah, got that one. Yeah, it is. It's there is guys. There is guys that definitely I know. Not round this my wee village, but other villages that these guys have been doing it for donkeys. They've been ball deep and doing the work, selling the worst kind of stuff, and they never get touched. They get arrested and they're getting out. It's obvious what they're doing, you know what I mean? But let's be honest, right? This is what I've said to a few of my mates. Think about it. If you were the police, if you were in charge of the police, right? And you want so over here, drug users are responsible for most of the crime, petty crime, breaking into people's houses. And that's not petty, but breaking into people's garages, people's sheds, shoplifting. That's where all the money comes from for the drugs. Okay, so do you not think it would be important if the police knew exactly who was buying all the drugs? Because then they would know who was committing all the crimes, you see? So therefore, it would make sense for them to have one particular dealer working for them, you know? And that's honestly the way I think they work, you know? And they make sure they shut all the other dealers down. They make sure this one dealer, because they want everybody going to that one dealer, because then they know exactly everybody who's using, you know? That's the intelligence side of it. And it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Do you think a lot of these murders and assaults at weekends are to do with coke on some level? I honestly think there will be an element of that, yeah, of course, but it will also be an element of social media. The problem with social media is people say things that they don't realize stays there. You know, it's very easy to throw a post up. It's very easy to make a comment on the live, to talk about somebody or say something about somebody, and then you go out and you bump into them face to face. It's people find it easy to slobber and speak down about somebody when they're not in front of them. And I think a lot of that stuff comes from stuff like that, you know, different fractions feuding online. Yeah, 100%. It is known amongst the criminal world that most of the brown, don't know what I'm allowed to say, comes from Afghanistan and Pakistan. And obviously the white comes from South America, which gets funneled through Europe. So it's mostly, I'm not going to say because I don't want to put a target on my back, guys, to be honest with you. But it comes through Europe, and there's a certain faction and Turkey that control that part of it, and then it gets filtered through to us. Let's put it like this. What's going on with people from this country that are trying to do business with these people? They're just getting ripped off. They're just getting ripped off. Simple as that. They're getting the piss taken clean out of them, and it's just not worth it. That's why we do not have any. You will not see. The days of seeing the big crime families, the big British crime families are gone. You know, they're gone. You know, they're still trying. They're still there, but you know, they're paying top whack for everything now, and people from a different demographic aren't paying as much, so they're undercutting the local criminals and putting them out of business, basically. You know, there's been a big power struggle in Great Britain over the drugs trade, and basically people from other countries, foreigners, have taken it over. Everybody knows that amongst the criminal world, to be honest with you. You know, everybody wants to pretend, and maybe a couple of ones are pretending that they're this, that, and the other, but really they're not. You know, they're getting the crumbs. You know, our criminals are now getting the crumbs. Our gangsters are now getting the crumbs if they're lucky. And they're all getting basically put down to street dealing because they're not getting the wholesale prices anymore that they're used to. Yeah, I've heard of that, John. I've heard of that. Yeah. So dodgy eat dog eat Albanian. I didn't want to say any names, John, you know what I mean? But okay. Oh, sorry, Eddie. That's Eddie. Yeah, so like loads of changes. Loads of changes. Oh, I know what Katie's getting on at. I know what she's getting on at now. Because I'm smoking. Oh, she's coming around, so she's gonna get me into trouble, isn't she? But the baby's not here, you know what I mean? But I will need to, you know, I need to sort it out, guys. I need to stop doing that. It's just habit, you know what I mean? So I'm already in trouble, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna finish my roll up. They did that in Auchinleck and got ran out. The locals rioted. Auchinleck. I know Auchinleck. That's all right, Eddie. Don't worry about that, mate. I'm just going to tell them where you live. When they come from me, I'm just going to tell them it was you. Is there no traditional no, forget about that. That's all gone. London gangsters were the first to go. They really were. They were the first to go, to be honest with you. No, there's no, all them days are gone, Emerald. I know too much, do I, big son? Yeah, Kevin Lane's, but you know, Kevin Lane's, it's you know, they're that's all retired. All these guys are all social media up now, you know what I mean? They're all like, you know, anybody that's on social media doing stuff like this are definitely out of the game. Definitely out of the game, guys, and they're not involved in anything. I get me a spur door. Evening all. Hello, Willow Ferry. Everybody say hello to Willow Ferry. I lived in London. Yardies, Islamists, Russians, Turks. I love you too. Yeah. Well, that's exactly. John Dillinger's hit it on the head though. That's basically. I would put it Yardies, and then this is the way it's gone. It is Yardies, and then it was the Russians, then it was the Turks, now it's the Islamists, and that's the drug trade, you know what I mean? And, you know, the Turks, like I say, the Turks have got control of the white, and the rest have got control of the brown. And that's the way it is. And everybody, even the dogs in the street are talking about it. You know what I mean? But what You know, our government right now are up to their neck with so many terrorists and criminals and gangsters that they've let in through the border that they just cannot. They don't care. They're not interested in chasing drug dealers and all that. They're not giving a damn. At the end of the day, it's good for the economy, isn't it? Keeps prison officers in work. It keeps social workers in work. It keeps judges in work. It keeps lawyers in work. All that tax money coming from drug dealing. You know what I mean? And then you've got the NHS, all the problems that come with that. It's all money coming back to the government, guys. And that's why we have a drug problem in Great Britain. And that's why we will always have a drug problem in Great Britain. And that is why the government do not do what I say they should do and give drug dealers an appropriate sentence, because then that would stop them. So that would stop people waking up one day and going, you know what? Think I'm going to sell drugs. I'm going to make my money selling drugs. That's what I'm going to do. You know, I guarantee you, if you're throwing people away for life, 10 years upwards, no man's waking up in the morning and thinking I'm going to get up and start selling drugs. The only reason people are waking up and saying that is because there's no sentencing. You know, there's no sentencing. They're getting what, 5 years? You do 2.5. Less now, you do 2 years. If you do a year in remand, you do a year. That's nuts. It's nuts. Sellotape your letterbox. I can get rid of your letterbox, never mind sellotaping it. Haven't been afraid of dying since my bedroom window got blown through by a bomb as a kid. Fuck's sake, John. So, hi, John. Dillinger, how old are you, mate? $37. 37. There's my number, guys. There's my number. Never far away, is it? Number 37. Yeah. What part, John, if you don't mind me asking, mate? You're a young... He is a young lad, isn't he? There's no lawyers. So, what I was going to say something as well. Miggy's on TikTok and X because grew up. John. Keep hello, yeah. No. Watch out, John, your door number next time. So yeah, what I was thinking, guys, is like TikTok and X. There's a thing on TikTok where we can all there's like wee windows. I think we can have 6 or 8 of us all on one bit. We can all be on camera and we can all talk together. Obviously, we need to take turns. We can't all talk over each other. But there is situations like that. X has got one as well. I think it's called a space. They call it a space, where I would create a space and invite you all in. And I think that's just everybody talking, everybody taking turns at talking rather than you leaving messages, because I would rather have a chat with you and talk with you rather than this, you know what I mean? It means we could all take turns and saying stuff and talking about stuff, you know what I mean? Grew up in Glengormley. What are you wanting, boy? You want up beside your dad? Great idea. Thank you, MS. Zoom calls. X-Space is okay. So what we'll do is we'll sort something out. So we'll try and get as many people on X as we can. Vanda, Lucy isn't on the night. Linda, John, all the Johns. wee bit bunkers. I think you've got X. You know what I mean. I don't do TikTok, so we can work it out. We'll try and do it with the next thing. Elon Musk, right now, outrageous. So have we look at this, guys. What have I done? Two seconds. Elon Musk. 2 seconds to see what Elon Musk is up to. Elon Musk. Outrageous. Autism capital. New Senator Johnny Ernest said that US had threatened her and her staff after she started looking. That's an American thing. Just double check and see if it was anything about us guys, you know. Because it's the best food quality. Use Discord. It's good enough for the Russians to use in war. Discord. I'll look into it, mate. I don't know anything about Discord, so don't. Freedom Dad, TikTok is full of lefties, anti-TR. Yeah, I know that. I know. I've got a TikTok, and I'm sick of getting violations. You know, I could show you my homepage, and it's just content removed, you know. I've got a video on here, so I have. Who was that again? Yeah, MS. I've got a video on here. If you look down my library, it's this video was banned on TikTok, and that gives you an idea. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't let me put it up. They took it down, give me a violation, but it's okay for YouTube. You know what I mean? Because it was just facts. It was about Tommy Robinson. You know what I mean? Yeah, John, yeah. I'm going to get a laptop. You know, once I get a laptop, it'll be so much easier because there's a couple of things. I want to be able to come on a couple of nights a week and just go through X, you know. So what I'm going to do is go through X and bookmark a lot of stuff and then go on to here and just bring it up and talk about it with you, you know. Yeah, I'm done with TikTok, to be honest with you guys. I really am. I'm done with TikTok, like. Yeah, it's just taking the piss now. Half my time vouching for him, they do the same to me, only there's one of me and loads of them. Yep. Well, there's not one of you here. There's loads of us here. I only have X, but I use laptop Teams. Can still get censored on X Pro. Oh yeah, you can still definitely, but you know what I mean. It's no like TikTok and that. Like you can talk, you know what I mean. You talk truth. At the end of the day, you can't just go on there and talk nonsense because everything can be checked. You know what I mean? They've got this truth checking thing. You know what I mean, which is really good. You know. The only thing I don't like about X is it's a nightmare. It's like the stuff you see. It's like really hard. You know, I was watching X. I used to wake up in the morning, stick X on, quickly go through it, you know, just for content for my videos. But then I started going down in my moods, and like I was like, fuck, why? You know what I mean? Then I realized it was because of what I was watching. You know, when you see a woman get beat with a cricket bat, you're like, you know, that affects me. That really, I can't get that out of my head for ages. Yeah, John, you would. Oh yeah, you would. You wouldn't last on TikTok. You would not last on TikTok. Even comments and all that. It's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. I don't do social media at all. Social cancer. Not necessarily, John. John, you've got to look at it like this. You're in control of social media. It's not in control of you. So you can choose who you follow. You know, it's up to you who you allow into your life. Just like outside, who do you invite into your house? Who would you sit in the pub with and have a drink with? It's the exact same as social media. You control who you have, you know. If you want to, you have. I'm back on again. You can go and what X recommend for you. You know, some of it is hard to watch. Some of it is really hard to watch. X has got a lot of really brutal stuff on it, you know. So it's not for the faint-hearted, but it's not that bad, John. I promise you. Like, you know, it is a good way of getting information that you're not getting anywhere else, mate. You know. Yeah, YouTube's a nightmare. YouTube is a nightmare. All you have got to do, guys, is look at my library. Okay, scroll right down at the very start, and you see the views I was getting. I was getting 20,000 views, 40,000 views, 10,000 views, 140 plus thousand views on one video. 140,000 views, guys. Right now, you can see it's where it changes, you know. Now, fair enough. Maybe I'm just not the best content creator. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I totally get that. I'm not saying I'm some sort of great YouTuber. There's nothing special about me. I talk about stuff. I like it. It's more like a community thing. I'm not here doing the news. I'm not here trying to make people laugh. I'm here to try and let people know that like life in the street in working class areas is tough. You know, having mental health, having problems with mental health, is tough. You know what I mean? Navigating relationships is tough. Having a baby, being a first time dad is tough. You know, spending most of your life in prison, you know, I mean, has a good, nice person is tough. And that's what I do. And I try and then cover what's going on in the world, what I see, and then bring it to use. And I try and do it in a way like just a normal way, because I think most of us are normal. You know, there's a space here that's normal. Then you've got the ones that are just crazy, and then you've got the ones that are maybe really difficult with mental health. You know what I mean? So I try and that's my audience, you know what I mean? And I try my best. If anybody's down here really struggling, I try and bring them up in the our normal category, you know. And that's all I do. I'm not here to grow a channel. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here for any other reason. But, you know, 50% to start with was for my daughter. And, you know, 90% was for my daughter. But basically, that's how I started this, simply to get stuff down, because I'm an overthinker. I'm a bit of a worrier. And I worry I'm not going to be here for long, you know. And I just wanted my daughter to know that I'm not as bad as what some people might have said or say, or what's on paper, you know what I mean? And I wanted to get my side across, my point across, show her who I am. You know, if I go tomorrow, at least she's got something to look at, get an idea who her dad was and what kind of man he was, you know what I mean? Then maybe try and help guide her a wee bit as she goes on in life, you know what I mean? And that's why I started this, the only reason. And then that I was always going to do it. I was always going to do it. I was planning it. I was getting ready to do it. It was building up the courage, you know what I mean? And I was thinking of just doing them all private and just putting a YouTube channel, just having it private, so nobody else would see it apart from whoever I let see it, you know what I mean? And then what happened? Southport happened, and I watched all that. I watched all the riots, and then I watched people getting arrested, and I watched a lot of YouTubers shut down. And that's when I came online, because if you look right back to my very first videos, it's basically just saying the things that everybody else was scared to say. I was basically wanting people to know this is how far you can go. And I know for a fact, because of the views that I got at the start, there was a lot of people watching me. Paul Thorpe, Paz, Richard. There was a lot of big YouTubers were watching me, and I know for a fact, maybe not the ones I mentioned, I don't know, but I did start noticing YouTubers changing the way they were speaking after I started doing my videos, you know. And that was the only point I wanted to do. I wanted to show other people that you can come out and criticize the government. You're allowed to criticize illegal immigration. You're allowed to criticize, you're allowed to complain and be disgusted with our own children being all them things that's happened to them by people that's came into this country from other countries. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. And that was the most important thing to me. They get that out there. They let people understand. Come on, you don't need to leave the country. You don't run away. Stand up. You know, you don't need to come out on the street, but you certainly don't let them silence you, because this is what it's all about: being labelled the far right, being labelled racist, because when you're being, like, you know, guys, being racist the far right, that's, you're being labelled a racist, a Nazi, a pure fascist. It's horrible, you know, and it is enough to scare a lot of people into silence. And so that's where it went from there. And then what happened was, you know, Lexa Paz and other people gave me mentions and shout outs, and it grew to where I am today, where I met all you guys, and I got to know yous, and it grew on me. Yous grew on me, and it became a community, like really good friends. And like when I'm not online and I'm going about my day, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about coming back on and saying hello and what I'm going to talk about. And I'm looking forward to your comments. You know, and that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. And that's the way it's gone. And then, you know, I'm at a situation now where I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying my channel. I'm enjoying doing it. My life's changed because I've got this output for me to be able to talk, and I've also got something where I'm able to get a bit back by helping people, you know, behind the scenes that you don't see when I'm on the phone counselling people. And I'm getting an awful lot from that because it's working, and I didn't know I was good at it. I didn't know I had these skills. I didn't know I could fix people's mental health. I really had no clue. It wasn't until I started trying and talking to people that people were saying to me, you know what you just said means this to me. And I'm thinking, wow, I didn't realize that. That's just how I felt, and this is what I've been through, and that's how I dealt with it. I never thought for 1 minute it would work for other people. And so it's grew even more that way. So I'm now in a situation where I'm scared to grow any bigger, because I wouldn't be able to help everybody. I couldn't. If I'm sitting with 100,000 followers, you see the views some of the guys get, you know, 2,500 views in an hour, you know. The comments, can you imagine what the comments are like? So yeah, I am enjoying it like this. You know, I'm really, really happy with my channel like this. And I'm one of them guys that if you're really happy in life and everything's going right, don't change nothing, you know, don't change nothing. And I always say to everybody that I speak to, because I speak to a lot of big YouTubers, and I always ask them not to shout me out. Don't mention my name, you know what I mean? You know, maybe one day, if I do want to grow and get monetized with another channel or something, I don't know. You know, it's an option, but at the minute, I'm quite happy, and that's the main thing. That's the most important thing in life, is just being happy, guys. And you can't put a price on that. You know, no amount of money from advertisements or no amount of buy me a coffees will ever top that. You know, just this, what I'm getting from this, from you guys. Sorry. Right, I'm just going to catch up, guys. I'm just going to catch up. Fella, stop bashing yourself up. We're here for you for a reason. Thank you. Listen to Eddie and MS. Thank you, Fonda. What were you doing the full month? I've only been doing this a year, man. Very head melting stuff. Not you feeling that the whole world around us. Yeah, I know. Imagine when Lucky goes up, it should be a complete encyclopedia of video. I know. Hitler was a socialist. In the same, Freedom Dad, I'm the same age as you. You're saying nothing I wouldn't say. Thank you so much, MS. Leaving the country will not bring you happiness. You will walk straight into CMS elsewhere. Yeah, you ever come home, I'd love to buy you a pint. No problem, John. Not a problem. Definitely. If that's what you want, that's what we will do. It's not about that, is it? It's what you get out of it. But it is. It is indeed. Thank you. Nice job in the kitchen. Freedom looks good. Thank you. I watched quite a lot of YouTubers. This best one for me. Can't see that one. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that's another amazing thing I've had from a lot of guys and people as well, that they have said that they think my YouTube channel is one of the best YouTube channels. I just can't believe that. You know what I mean? But I think that's just because I suit them. You know what I mean? And I'm no like putting up super chats, and I'm not like, I'm not overdoing it. You know what I mean? I want to keep it just normal. I try to keep it normal, um, as normal as possible. It's more comfortable for me when it's normal. Like, I'm not worrying about everything and the dogs and the scenery and all that. I like to get the lighting right. So that's all. It's important. Thank you, John. Feels like in Northern Ireland, if you're not a loudmouth, you're looked down upon. Well, that's not just Northern Ireland. That's everywhere. Any any pub you walk into, always the loud ones, and I'll tell you something about loud ones. This is my experience in life. The loudest are always the most feared, believe it or not. I've met some guys, honestly, like, big, scary, hard looking men that are like, they talk it, they walk it, but they don't have a heart. They're not fighters. And I don't know what it is. I really can't, I do not know what it is. But some men, I say that's a heart. I don't know how else to explain it. Some men just don't have the heart. And because they don't have and I'm not saying they're not nice people, of course, it's got nothing to do. I'm talking about fighting. They don't have that heart, that aggression in the heart. And I think that scares them. So what they do is they compensate by being loud and being aggressive, and so everybody leaves them alone. You get me? That's what I find in life. Most men, the most dangerous men in life, are truly, when they say it's the quiet ones you've got to watch. The most dangerous men in life are the quiet ones. The most dangerous men in life you would never ever see it coming. They will not threaten you. They won't send you a text, and they won't tell anybody that they're going to do anything. The only person that's going to know will be you and them in a dark place somewhere where you're not expecting it. And, that has always been the case in my life, in prison and outside of prison. A lot of people are feared, and they learn because the way they look, or because of their size, they learn quickly that people fear them. It's a case of, like, they maybe when they're growing up, because they don't know anything. They don't want to fight. They're not fighters. You know what I mean? So they're growing up in life, and they've got that fear about them, right? And then they're in a situation, and there's somebody, because they're scared of most people, but this one particular guy may be a bit big, scared, and they're like, oh, and they see that person's scared of them. You see? So if you're really a feared person, and you find yourself in a situation for whatever reason, people are scared of you, then of course you're going to build on it, because you want to protect yourself. You get me? The scarier you look and become, the more people will leave you alone. And that's what I find with people like that. And that's God's honest truth. Not all across the board, don't get me wrong. Some men, loud, scary men, are fucking scary, hard, dangerous men. Please do not go up to every loud, scary man that you see thinking that he's a mouse inside, please, because I've said that. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm just telling you, in general, the people who are the loudest, you'll know who I'm talking about. You'll know a real hard, loud man when you see one. But if you ever get that one that's always loud and all that, you can always guarantee, you know what I mean, when it comes down to the crunch, they'll be pretty scared. You know what I mean? They're pretty scared people. Thanks, James. Yeah, it is. I mean, I told you about the story. Like, I've been done by a wee guy, like, not done, like, but, broke my nose, you know what I mean? And we were both naked, you know what I mean, in the shower in the jail, you know what I mean? He was like, fucking down right about there to me, you know what I mean? Wee Welsh guy, fucking boom. Anyway, I walked up in the shower, like, thinking he wasn't wanting any hassle, you know what I mean? Because, like, we're out in the football, and he's fucking done. I'm like, I see you in the shower. All right, he's like that. So he's in the shower. I walked in. I'm like, can I tell you word for word? You still wanting that slap, wee man? That was my words to him, and that was the last words. Boom! Just jumped up and boom, because he had to jump to get me in the nose. Yeah, and we went. We went for it. You know what I mean? But it was in a shower. We were both naked. my blood everywhere. You can imagine with the water, the blood, it looked worse than what it was. I looked like I'd been done. You know what I mean? It was pretty embarrassing, to be honest with you. But yeah, my experience is the wee ones, they're rapid. I'm rapid. You know what I mean? I am rapid. I do punch bag. I love punching the bag. I know what I'm capable of. I know my knuckles are really bony. I know the damage I can do to somebody's face. You know, in the prison, I've been there. You know what I mean? That's just life. You know what I mean? Yeah. People. I always say to people, like, what I realize, what I always see when I go ahead with somebody is shock. That's the last thing I see in their eyes is shock, because they don't expect the explosion of violence to come from somebody like me, because I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'8". You know what I mean? I've always been in the gym. I've been a lot bigger than what I am right now. I've normally been about 11 stone, like solid, really solid, with shoulders, arms, always lifting good heavy weights. You know, I'm just the gym. Life, that's my life. The gym and the jail, non-stop. And I've got my own wee gym that I go to and I ring. Yeah, and you know, I honestly think people like me worry because we're fast. And if you know, I be honest with you, I used to punch sand when I was younger. You know, a bucket of sand. You know what I mean? I know, nuts. And so yeah, bigger guys. I would fight a bigger guy all day long, because I can see the big guy's punches coming all day long. You know, there's a big guy will never be able to throw a punch at me without me seeing it coming. You know, it's like sending the postcard to me. You know what I mean? It's like sending the postcard before he sends it. Oh, that's what it's like to me. I don't know what it is. It's just because they're bigger. You know, you see the movement before. You know, it's just. I'm just being honest. Smaller guys are rapid. They are rapid. We wiry guys are. You know what I mean? Very difficult. Very difficult. But like I say, I'm not a fight. I'm 50, I'm 50, coming 56. I'm 4 years away from 60, guys. You know what I mean? My fighting days are over. You know what I mean? And I was never a hard man. I promise you, I was never a hard man. I'm no harder than any other guys in the jail. You know what I mean? I'm just a fighter. You know, I've had plenty of beatings. You know what I mean? You know, there's nothing special. I've just held my own because I've always been on my own. No brothers, no sisters, and I just always went for it. But I was lucky enough that I'm a decent enough guy. I can always get myself out of things. You know what I mean? I can always reason with people. Most people don't want to fight. Especially in prison. You know, you don't want to fall out with somebody in prison and have to watch your back all the time. You know what I mean? You'd rather not have that. And so I'm intelligent and know that. You know what I mean? And once people know that you will do the damage, then most people don't really want to go there. You know, and I'm not the kind of guy that would be running about pushing people to go there. You know, I'm not a bully. You know, I'm not nothing like that. So I'm lucky that way. So I've never really had to have that many fights. You know what I mean? Compared to most. You know what I mean? I want to make that clear. I'm not some sort of crazy guy that goes into jail fighting all the time. I've had loads of fights in every jail, but that's expected. That's no more than normal for a young guy like myself, you know. I'm slight and my elbows split cheeks like razor blades. Muay Thai is the best thing to know for self-defense, I think. I've never really done anything like that, like just the boxing, like the Jack Russell dogs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't like fighting, but this place gave me no options. Yeah. Are you still a Bubba? I'm 59 in a couple of weeks. Mark Vanda, come on. You know, one away from 60. Oof. You know what I mean? It's been quick, eh? It's been quick. Where's it gone, eh? Fucking 60 years? Where the fuck's it gone? If you have savvy tongue, most rows can be avoided. Yeah, unless it's a bully, then you're leveling them out. Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? John, you're a big guy, like, you know what I mean? I don't think many people were ever gonna mess with you back in the day, you know what I mean? Too quick. Too quick. It is too quick, isn't it? Does the alertness you have to keep in jail then affect you on the outside? Oh, big time. Horrible. See, trying to change. Honestly, it was really horrible. Like, I had some serious problems. Like, The big one when I got the 18, that was the difficult one coming out. You know what I mean? Um, Staring at people. You know, that was a habit I didn't even realize. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like you're growling at people, but that's just the way it is in the jail. Nobody's nice in the jail. You don't get up in the morning and go, "Good morning, how are you? Did you sleep well last night?" It's the opposite. All right, ball bag. You know what I mean? It's like constant abuse, but it's cause you're mates. It's weird. It's really weird. There's no niceness. There's no like. There's no emotion. Like there's no mateiness. You know, yours are both. Everybody's fucking. It's the jail's different, and you know, eye contact's very important in the jail. You know what I mean? Very important, and yeah. It's because jail is a very, it's like society under a microscope. That's what prison's like. So it's society pushed into a really small area. So things like facial expressions and eye contact are very, very important because of that situation. Outside, nothing like that matters. There's so many different people, and everybody's got so many different things in their mind, and people will be staring at you, not even knowing they're staring at you. And yeah, it's things like that were difficult to get used to. Shutting doors, I'd never shut a door. So I used to get into trouble for always leaving the bathroom door open. I couldn't go to the toilet and leave the bathroom, shut the bathroom door. You know, I couldn't. I couldn't even shut my front door. Because I'd never shut a door. I would refuse to lock my door. A lot of guys would lock up at night and throw their door over. You know, all right, Sparky. You know what I mean? See you in the morning, buddy. Neighbor, you know, whatever. You know, some film was coming on because we get the movie channels and all that. You watching thingy night? Yeah, right. And they would double the door. All my life in every prison, I would never lock myself in a prison cell. I would always make sure a prison officer locked my door. That was very important to me. Don't know why, but never ever would I lock a door behind me. And because of that, then when I got out, I wouldn't. It was just a habit. It's like I can't explain it, guys. No matter how important it is, you got to shut the door. Because your brain, because you haven't done it for so long, it's really hard to get. People have to remind you. Loads of different things. Cars was a bad one. I nearly got killed on my first home leave. Traffic, the speed of traffic is really difficult to under. It's like because you're not. I can't even explain it. If you've been in prison for a long time, I'd love to know the statistics of how many guys have got out of prison got knocked down. Seriously, like because that must be crazy the amount. Because honestly, I nearly got taken right out. But I've told you about it. Guy stuck his arm out. I run into his arm. Double-decker bus. I mean, I'm running, like jogging, because I'm just out of jail. I'm looking for Sammy. First home leave. We've been married in jail. First time outside together. Buzzing, you know what I mean? And I'm in Edinburgh, and it's a bit, in Edinburgh, there's a statue of a horse, and then there's a road comes down, and then it goes like that, right? And I didn't know this road came down. It was basically a straight road. But when I'm standing, where people were standing at the lights, to cross, you know, I didn't know that how fast these vehicles were coming round. It was just like a wee tiny bend. It wasn't like a corner. It was just like a straight road over a bridge and then bump. And I went to jog across the road, and this guy, honest to God, guys, put his arm out, stiff, didn't look round. He was looking straight ahead on my mother's grave, put his arm out, and I've run into his arm with my chest. And that exact second on my mother's grave, a double-decker bus flew by. And I promise you guys, no word of lie, if he hadn't put his arm out, I would have been under that bus. I swear to God. And it was one of them moments in life that, you know, it happened all that quick. And I was like, thanks, mate. You know, I didn't even look at his face. You know, you got to understand. I'm like, I've got Sammy on the phone. She's telling me I'm trying to find where she is. She's trying to find where I am, just out of prison. I'm buzzing, all the rest of it. You know, it wasn't until after I realised that was an angel. That was my guard. I was a guardian angel sent down to make sure that I had a wee bit more time on this planet. There's no two ways about it, guys. You know, maybe he's seen something at the corner of his eye. I don't know. But, you know, what I've told you is the God's honest truth, guys. That's all I can say, you know. I used to be very bad at eye contact. I had to start using stuff to get better at it. Yeah, you do. But this is what I mean. You've got to always practice with everything. You know, it's getting the wee brother told the rabbit and the takeover. You know, that's all you're doing when you're doing stuff like that. You know, I could never look people in the eyes because I had social anxiety. Yeah, I get that. I totally understand that. But all I'm going to say to you is try and look at it a different way. The eyes are the soul, okay? The eyes are the way in to here, not the wee brother into here. So no matter what somebody's intentions are, you'll always see it in their eyes. I promise you. You know, you've just got to look. Just look at their eyes. There's 2 seconds. How you doing? Right into the eyes. How you doing? Right into their eyes, and you will see that it might take time. You know, try it in different people. Try it in people that you know are bad. You know, try it in people that you know are good. Just try. You know, that's my best advice to you: is practice it. Check people's eyes out that you know, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. I promise you, it is. So we have got powers that have been held and kept quiet from us for some reason, you know, and it is quite interesting. You know, it is really, really. We are quite special as human beings, guys. We really are. I can fully concur. I'm 54 now and never been able to shake it off. Sorry, Giovanni, I've missed something, mate. Oh, you prison. You talk prison, Gio. The guy saw you coming, luckily. Gateway to the soul. Yeah, gateway to the soul, John. That's the one. You know, it is like obviously there's good. Don't get me wrong. You know, you are going to get the odd one that's going to get by you. It's going to fool you. You're going to make that mistake. You know, some people are really, really good. You know, eye contact is a big one because I think even if you're anxious, if you can remain, see, it's that these messages disappearing. If you can remain some eye contact, people will still think you're confident. I think your mum was probably your guardian angel that day. Yeah, yeah, maybe it was a guy, but yeah, you could be right. Um, but no, the eye contact thing as well, like it can be difficult, and you've got to understand this is another one I need you to know before you like start judging people and things like that. A lot of people with mental health, like people with anxiety, people struggling with things, will give off certain things with their eyes that aren't accurate. Okay, you've got to understand that. You know what I mean? Not, sometimes you look in somebody's eyes, you will maybe think they're up to something. They're not trusting, but it's just pain. It's trauma that you're looking at. You know what I mean? And as you do start looking at people's eyes and understanding eyes, and I'll tell you another thing, guys, you can actually do it with people online. You can do it with YouTubers. YouTubers that show you their eyes. You can actually look into their eyes and you can tell a lot from people's eyes. Please believe me. you know um I can tell so much from so many people. But look, and I love it. I love it because it's just like a wee bit of body armor I have, that will always protect me from certain people. And it also lets me know who not to get too caught up with, who not to follow, who not to like, because some YouTubers you could throw everything into, you know what I mean? And yeah, it is. It's very revealing. It's not anything that anybody can ever prove. It's something personal that you know yourself, and you can't just say, "Listen, I've looked in his eyes, and he's no genuine. He's dodgy as fuck." You can't do that. You just cannot do that. It's a personal thing, and you use it for your own benefits, and that's it. Obviously, your loved ones. You can let your loved ones know. If they trust in what you have, that power that you have. It is a power. Then yeah, they will. It's good to be able to let your loved ones know these things. And I do believe everybody's got it, and you just need to know it. You just need to look and start practicing it. You know what I mean? Just just check out the eyes of some people. You know what I mean? It's you got to understand as well. It's difficult. Not all photographs. It doesn't work with photographs all like that. There needs to be that twinkle. There needs to be that life. You know what I mean? So some photographs that weren't as clear as day, like ours are, that you won't get that reaction. Don't be thinking you can look at serial killers from 20, 30 years ago and look at their eyes. Yes, you can tell that in some of their eyes they look fucking nasty as fuck, but sometimes it is deceiving. Some of their eyes, and some of them are just sociopaths, proper psychosociopaths who you wouldn't be able to tell anything from them. They probably look so kind and loving in their eyes, and really these people will cut you up into wee bits and sleep like a baby. So it's not foolproof, guys. This theory with the eyes. Trust your gut. Trust your gut's a good one. Yep, trust your gut's a good one. I actually, believe it or not, John Dilger, I was actually talking to young Kai this morning about that. Trust your gut. I was passing him on a wee bit of information of what I think, just to help him out. Some little bits of advice that I've picked up over the years, like life skills, what I mean? Nothing to do with YouTube or anything, just general life skills that I thought might help him. And one of them was about trusting your gut. That was indeed. Yeah, well, but John, if that's the case, then you'll just look like a really kind, stoned soul. Right? You'll just you'll just people just say, "Oh, he's a really nice guy, but stoned, but really nice guy." Something very dark about that guy. Stormer's eyes. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's a perfect one. Yeah, Stormer's a perfect one, like, guys. No, I don't think that's happening. Right, so Katie's come round. Eye contact used to be accused of looking at women's. That wasn't a kid. Yeah. Look, them days are over now, aren't they? Like, what I mean? We used to have life used to be good, man, and like, I know the wolf whistling and all that and everything, and the PH3 models and everything, what I mean? I think that was a good time, I honestly believe women had a lot more freedom, and these women, were burning their breasts on and PH3 in the sun, and like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't think I didn't think I had a bit of character to life, you know what I mean? And for young boys growing up trying to get a look at PH3 and everybody had their favorite models, I think it was very, very healthy. It was very, very healthy for society, and at the end of the day, none of the girls were forced to do it. You know what I mean? They had beautiful bodies and they had every right to show them off. It's like that OnlyFans. I've got absolutely no problem with girls doing OnlyFans and all that. You know what I mean? That's totally up to them. Obviously, they've got to think about their children when they got older and all that. But I think they've all got their own rights. When flirting was banned, they're correct, yeah. The bum farmer that does Lord Annie's. Oh, I'm not going to read that out. I'm even surprised you got that up. So I do. Hi, Lauren. How you doing? Welcome to the club. Hope you're having a good night. It's just doing a wee live tonight because I had a guest on last night. I never really got speaking to my followers or anything like that. Normally we have a wee chat and just talk about what's going on in the world, and yeah, and that's all it is tonight, guys. I'm doing good. I am doing absolutely amazing in a really good place. Things are tight, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? So the good thing about that, living on the breadline, is when you do get perks, when you get a chance of a wee steak, it's really, really good. It's really enjoyable. And it's good looking forward to it. If you get a chance of going out for a wee meal together with your partner, you know what I mean? It's amazing, And it's a good thing sometimes struggling. It brings people closer. you appreciate the smaller things in life. You know what I mean? You notice things that you wouldn't normally notice. I think when you're loads of money and you're just blowing, you're eating out all the time, and you're not taking time to go out and get a bag of spuds and think, right, what can we have? Right, we'll have spuds. There's a bit of ham unreduced, couple of eggs, right? So ham, fried egg, chips, and beans. Wow. You know, how good does that sound? And that's on the breadline. That's you struggling. You know, compared to going out to an Indian. Can you understand what I'm saying? I just think there's a lot of good to come from, you know, struggling and getting by. And, you know, I just want to make this point as well as to my good friend that's on here, John. Um, John Capone is a good, very good friend of mine, and has helped me out. You know, I have struggled the last wee while, and John has been there to pull me out of a wee hole. So I just want to let you know, because I know he won't really be happy with this, but I don't care. He is a really, really kind person, and I can't thank the guy enough. You know what I mean? But I know that's what mates are for. But you know, I just think you deserve for me to publicly thank you, mate, for being a good friend. Um, I've not had a McDonald's in years. God, we need a McDonald's, guys. More grounded, yeah. Oh no, no, not no struggling, no, not like that. You know, we're everybody is struggling. You know, no, everybody's struggling. Gas, electricity, feeding, clothing. You know what I mean? I just had a wee baby girl. She's 2 months old. You know what I mean? And so things are just a wee bit tighter. And but life is good. Life is really, really good. And you've got to always remember there's a lot of people out there that don't have anything. There's people out there that don't have any food in the cupboards, and they don't have anybody with them. They're on their own. There's people in the streets, and there's people with mental health suffering seriously because they can't even get through to the doctors because their mental health is that bad. They're so angry with the world because whatever's happened to them in life, and they go on to the doctors, and the doctors are saying you can't get an appointment for another 2 or 3 weeks, and they're going, what the fuck good's that to me? And they're going, boom, phone down, and then they're sat there not able to phone the doctor again because that's the way mental health works. You know what I mean? People lose their temper. They're not going to phone up and start going, you know what I mean? Because they're not going to phone up the doctor probably again. Then they're suffering. And that's people that are struggling. I always remember that, guys, when I say the word struggling, it's just like just getting by. Like, life, we're not in abundance. You know what I mean? We're having homemade chips. We're having beans. We're having nice homemade dinners. And we're not going out as much. Not that I don't drink or anything like that, you know what I mean? But life is okay. Life is good. I've got people around me that love me. I've got people to love. I've got a wee baby girl, first ever child, and I couldn't be happier. You know what I mean? So, but thank you for your concern. I really appreciate that. Yeah, stay away from seed oils. That's a very good thing, guys. Oh, battery. Battery. Chill up. I need to get the charger in. So tulip. 2 seconds, guys. Get this charged. So tulip. Obviously, baby was around last night, so we're putting beds in the kitchen for the dogs. Just when the baby's round, the baby gets a bit bigger and stuff like that, So she's not happy. She's not happy. Last night she didn't get to sleep with her dad, So I was down there with her last night. We could have cuddle and that in the kitchen with her. Got nice wee beds. I showed you. I sent you. I think I'd done a photograph in one of my videos. I done a video when I was saying you about buying me a coffee. I done a wee video of the two of them lying in their beds, and so I'm down giving her extra wee cuddles, and yeah, and then in the morning, getting straight up in the morning down to see them. You're spending like a good bit of time in the morning in the kitchen with them and that. But she's a wee soul. She understands. You know what I mean? She's not the only baby in the house anymore. AVG waiting time to speak to us, Frank. Yeah. You're 2 years. Easy, mate. Easy. Sound man, you're a good guy with a young, lucky Luciano and Toano. I know. Been getting fucked around for close to a decade for an operation. I know, mate, the NHS can't cope. They cannot cope. Too many people in the country, and you're far right and racist for saying that. You're far right and racist for complaining that you can't get an operation. You know what I mean? This is the bottom line. Like, people are dying, mate. There's people dying in this country because they're not getting the operations they need because the waiting lists are that big. I need to stop doing this. Keep putting my finger over the camera. Is Tulip jealous? No, she loves the baby. She just wants to be with the baby. She wants to sit next to the baby, lie next to the baby, but it's just because of her hers. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm going to change the bed and hoover everything and everything, you know what I mean, for the mar, you know what I mean? She's only up here the night. Please look into if your family members or something. If I had to bring 2 of my family members to chemo, and this is the seed oil cancer treatment in this country is a disgrace. I know a guaranteed way to get better health service. I'm going to get it. Oh no. And the anti-cancer pills they give them are just as bad as the disease. We've got to be careful what we say, John. Honest to God, guys, the YouTube are really, really a nightmare when it comes to medical stuff. But yeah, there is other stuff out there. So I'm gonna say to you, John, there's a YouTube video, Joe Rogan. Who is it? I'll find it. I'm sure I put it up. There's a video, Joe Rogan. There was somebody on a Joe Rogan video not so long about. So if you put in Joe Rogan, and I know who it was. So it was Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson was saying that 3 of his close friends had, what do you call it? I don't know what it is. Some stage, the end stage, fourth stage cancer, the bit where you're dying, yeah. And they started taking something, and they're all still alive. So look into that, John. And guys, please do look into it. I can't remember the name yet, but it isn't Joe Rogan, Mel Gibson, and just put in Joe Rogan, Mel Gibson, and maybe just put in the word cancer, and that clip should come up, guys. If not, you might need to watch the whole thing, but it is definitely worth watching. The Joe Rogan and the Mel Gibson one is definitely worth watching. It is a good podcast, guys. Metabolic research. Well, mate, I've heard a wee bit about that. Stage 4, yeah, mate, that's it. Yeah, the blue dye. I don't know what the blue dye is. Fasting. No, this is something that they're taking. It's initials. Something new. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of people saying a lot of good stuff about it. Yeah, Eddie, yeah, definitely watch it. It's Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson, and I don't think it's that far into it. But yeah, and you look at their eyes, look at the way they're talking. I tell you what, Mel Gibson didn't want to talk about it. Mel Gibson was like, you can see Mel Gibson going, shouldn't I? And then he was like, fuck it. And then he came out with it. So yes, guys, get on it and tell your friends about it. If you know anybody suffering with it, I don't know how much it is. I don't know what it is, but apparently it's working. Apparently it's saving lives. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. These are opinions of a guy brought up in Belfast in the working class areas, brought up through children's homes, abused, spent most of my life in prison, and it's just what I know from what I've been and seen on the streets. Invermectin. It could be. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no. See that and fasting. I think Labour will take a hammering in any local elections. Yeah, Labour are definitely gone. Emerald. Labour are definitely gone. I know Kerry was saying, I don't think anybody's ever going to, by the time 4 years is up, well, see, this is what Kai said as well. If Labour keep bringing people into this country and gives them citizenship, they are going to vote for them. They are. Yeah, James. Yeah, great, innit? Yeah. It's all they say. If you start a program with them, they can stop it spreading. Right. There we go, guys. So this is what this is about. This is what this is exactly what social media should be about. Getting information like this and passing it around each other. You know, we could be saving lives here. We could, with this information, passing it on to somebody. You never know. Inverness, right? Okay. Mel Gibson has been on a roller coaster of life, got lots of experience. Yeah, he has indeed. I think he was cancelled as well, wasn't he? 16-year-old voters, yes, Eddie, that's going to be another big problem, mate, 110%. But, you know, you heard what Kai said. The young ones are all becoming the right, you know what I mean? The young ones are starting to change, like 117 million to most to 5 votes. Yeah, but, well, this is the thing. You know, there's a good possibility. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I keep doing that. Yeah, mail votes as well. That's going to be another big problem. Should be banned 100%. Well, this is all the things Labour are going to do. This is exactly what they're going to do. They're not giving this up. They know what's going to happen when another party gets in that isn't like, we'll see, Reform. You know, I'm going to stop because I'm thinking another party coming in, like a working class party, somebody that isn't the establishment, but Reform are the establishment. You know, at the end of the day, Nigel Farage is part of the establishment. They're all millionaires. They all drink in the same pubs. They're all, clubs. They're all, you see Nigel Farage and Starmer, they're best mates. You know, I mean, they're all mates. And yeah, you can see with the Tories moving from, that's going to get more and more. So by the time 4 years come, there will be a lot of Tories in Reform. So we're just going to have the same shit, just a different name. Rick Simpson, I'll check that out. Rick Simpson, I'll check that out. Thanks for that wee bit bungers and from Exon. Oh, word. So, guys, that's us over the 2 hours. But, I always like to do about 2 hours. And if it runs in over a wee bit, it runs in over a wee bit. What time are we at? 8:45. Katie's making me homemade soup. So she's going to be bringing that round. I just want to say thanks to everybody. Anybody new it's on, give us a wee subscribe. Join the club. I would say to hit the notification bell, but I don't think anybody's getting notifications from my channel. I think YouTube's well and truly sort of buried my channel into the do not let be seen category. Don't let this guy's word get out. I mean, these guys' words are too damaging to the Labour Party. So, but it makes me feel good. I think it's vegetable soup. You know what I mean? It makes me feel good. So it does that YouTube are behaving like this with me because it means I'm doing something right. I'm not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? But I know I'm doing plenty right. That's the main thing, guys. Lots of love to you and Katie. Thank you so much, Vanda. And don't forget, come on, Vanda. She's right here. She's right here, guys. She has been there for me. Obviously, Boy's been here for 14 years. But I got Tulip just after Sammy died. And, I owe Tulip a lot. I do, guys. I owe Tulip a lot. You know what I mean? She came into my life. She was one of my pups. She's actually, obviously, she's Boy's granddaughter. So one of Boy's pups, that's her daughter. So that was one of my mates. You know what I mean? And £800 and it was £800 well spent. I paid for her with the money, the compensation I got from the historical childhood abuse that I suffered in the children's homes. So I got her from that money. So yeah, she is my baby. She'll always be my baby, guys. You know, I love her so much. And it is difficult at the minute. But at the end of the day, she's in the house. She's warm. She's in the kitchen. Her bed's right next to the radiator. Plenty of food, plenty of water. And she's getting loads of love, hugs and kisses. And it's only night time when I'm going to bed that I'm saying good night. You know, and it is difficult. But, you know, I have to put baby Lucky first. You know what I mean? You know, I really do, guys. But thank you all so much. She's 3. Eddie, she's 3. She's coming 4, you know. So Sammy died. My wife died of COVID right at the very start. So I managed to bury my wife before the lockdown, you know. So I was able to have a proper funeral and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I got chilled not long after that. So that we saw. But yes, don't really want to finish on that note because bit sad, you know what I mean? So I'm going to stay for another 5 minutes, guys, because I do not want to leave like that with that, you know what I mean? But I'm just going to go on and say thank you all so much. Bailey is 14 years. No, boy is 14 years. That's my boy. Bailey is 6, 7. Bailey's Katie's dog, so she is. Yeah, 3 years. Great, plenty ahead for her. Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, definitely. No, the dogs are amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't know what I would do without them. Like I say, guys, I do believe dogs are quite spiritual. I think there's more to dogs than we know. I think there's a reason why dog is spelled God backwards. You know that. I don't think it's just a coincidence. I think there's more to it than what we know. Whether our loved ones can come through, whether people can look through the eyes, or maybe our loved ones can feel the closeness to us with our dogs, I don't know. But there's definitely a connection with dogs and another world, 110%. I like to believe that, you know, and that's what I believe. And, you know, what harm is it? You know, is anybody going to prove me wrong? Of course not. So, like I say, it's up to you in here what you believe. And sometimes I do believe that you will always be right. And that's the truth, you know. We might all have different opinions about different things in the world, but, you know, I do believe we all are personally right, you know. So on that note, I'm going to say good night, and I'm going to say thank you, guys. I don't know if we'll do another live. Like I say, I'll maybe do one during the middle of the week. If not, definitely Sunday. 100%. If you don't get any notifications, I'll always be here at 6:30 every Sunday night, guys, okay? We'll call it Sunday Club. And that way, if he's free, available, he's going to jump on for 5. If he's busy, say hello. I'm up, you know, like John Rankin did, jumped on how he's doing, and then he'll probably jump on and watch it live later on when he's chilling out or something. You know what I mean? They are long, these videos, 2.5. I don't know, like who would sit and watch this for like 2 hours. It's different when you're interacting, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that people take the time to listen to what I've got to say, and I really appreciate it, guys. So on that note, good night to everyone. I'm not going to go through all your names because you all know who you are and who are all here. So all my love, guys, and God bless every single one of you.